Hey guys, my name's Sterling Gardner. I own Stack Digital. I'm the creator of a process and a system called Launch Perfect. It is the easiest, fastest, safest, and brand new way to launch a highly lucrative 5-day challenge. I had a client that did 800K last month in her launch. Uh, it's just, we have tons of case studies. You'll find them all around here. Below this video, you're going to find a bunch of links. One link is going to be to download the PDF that I'm going to walk you through on how to conduct a really kick-ass mindset session during the open cart. Just a reminder, this video is part of what to do during open cart video series. Should be grouped here on YouTube. And then below that, there's a link where you can go check out more about Launch Perfect. If you're even thinking about the 5-day challenge, Launch Perfect should be a no-brainer for you. But without further ado, let's dive into what to do during open cart sessions, specifically around mindset. So what you're going to find is that if you follow Launch Perfect, you're going to be able to give people mini transformations along the way, days 1 through 4. You're going to invite people into your program on day 4. And then day 5, you're going to do a Q&A session, which I have a whole nother video. You can do video interviews, you can do Q&A, you can invite people who've already purchased your product. But one thing that's really smart to do is a mindset session. Why? It's because a lot of people have indecision and don't really know why they have that indecision. So if you just host a real brief, low pressure, hey, these are some mindset issues that I've seen people come across in the past. Maybe you can identify that with them, maybe not, but you can help them start to get clarity around why they may be holding themselves back. Now, this is not a way to force someone to buy your program who's not ready for whatever reason. But it is people who still may have be unclear as to, like, they know they want to do a 5-day challenge and they know Launch Perfect is going to help them massively. So why are they still holding themselves back? So let me screen share here and I will walk you through some great questions to ask. Okay, so you can see it's right here in Canva. I'm just going to work straight from it. Hope that's okay with you guys. So sometimes having a good old-fashioned mindset session is, like I said, it's a great way for people to realize what mindset issues might be keeping them from making a decision to join your program. So the first thing I do is I frame what having a strong entrepreneurial mindset means, what it looks like. So you want to set clear goals, you want to practice being decisive, you want to redefine failure, and then you want to remain curious. So let's talk about each of those a little bit more in depth. So remember, there are easy ways to ask questions that are not manipulative, that help people open their eyes to potential self-sabotage. Now, it's important to be genuinely caring because it's a fine line between sharing something you might see in someone and then being able to see it or wanting to see it. So all you're doing is trying to open up possibilities for people to get to see things themselves, not for you to go, Alice, I can tell that you're not buying because of this reason, and this reason. Now, some people might like talking to people like that. I don't. I like to ask questions and let people discover for themselves. So a great question to ask is, what would it look like this time next year if you had fill in the blank? Like, what's the big promise of your program? So if I was going to ask somebody, I'd say, hey, what would it look like this time next year if you'd done 3 unbelievable 6-figure, multi-6-figure 5-day challenges and they were easy and you loved doing it? Well, I never thought about what that would look like, they might say. I'll just take a minute and write down what that would look like, what that would feel like. And you go, okay, so now you framed the possibility for them. So they go, oh, okay. Yeah. So you're future pacing them, right? Like, what does it look like in the future? And then you might say something like, well, what's stopping you from having that? Now, most people's answer is going to be money. 99% of the time, people will just say, oh, I can't afford it right now. Well, a good question to follow up is say, well, is it really finances? I mean, if you knew you were able to make your investment back and then some, what fears underneath the finances? Because let's say your product costs $2,000 and you can help people achieve, they could learn how to get a client in the next 6 weeks using whatever your system is, right? So, and let's say their clients are worth $10,000. So who in their right mind wouldn't spend $2,000 now to make 10,000 relatively quickly? Who wouldn't spend 5,000 now or 10,000 now if they knew they were going to be able to get all of that money back and then some? So you might bring that to their attention. Just say, look, it's kind of a no-brainer investment because you're going to get the money back. So is there a fear underneath the finances? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but you just want to open people's minds to this. So then I say, what are other fears that come up for you when I ask what's holding you back? All right, so one of the things that creates self-sabotage for people is their inability to make a decision that they know is good for them. So again, you're just bringing up the fears so that they're conscious of them, so that they can make a conscious decision rather than an unconscious decision to join or not join your program. So you might say, well, what's a way you could practice being decisive that's within your current comfort zone? So like, what's something that you could decide upon right now that's within your current comfort zone? So you're getting them, again, to frame their decision, saying, well, is this in my comfort zone? Well, why can't I decide on it? You know, some people just can't get underneath that and figure that out. So again, you're just opening them up to possibilities. So then you might say, what's the time in your life where you first thought something was a failure? And what was the learning you extracted from that experience? So remember what I asked up here? One of the things you want to do is reframe people's failures, redefine failures. So you're going to say to them, what's something that you thought at the time was a failure, but upon looking back was very much not? Something that you actually deemed a success later on. So usually a lesson learned or whatever the case may be. Or, hey, man, that was a blessing. God, I was trying to remember something. Yeah, my wife and I ordered something at Home Depot. They canceled our order without telling us. So when I showed up there this morning, and I found out they had a competitor's product that was even less expensive. I was like, oh, I was really frustrated because they canceled it. It was supposed to be dropped off and delivered. It's like, oh, I don't have to do anything. And then they told me, well, those are bigger bags. So I actually ordered way more than I needed. And, but it was canceled. So when I found that out, I went from being really frustrated and ticked off that they canceled the order to, oh, it's a blessing because I actually ordered exactly what I needed and it ended up costing me a lot less. That's a reframe of a quote unquote failure, right? And then you might say, are you genuinely open to a new experience that might feel a little bit scary right now, but you know in your heart's the right thing to do? Again, you're just gently showing them, hey, this is a slightly outside your comfort zone. I understand. When is the last time you did something outside your comfort zone that turned out and went well? And that's it, guys. You're just sort of opening the conversation and showing people that there's possibility there. Just trying to untangle their brain a little bit. It puts you in a position of authority. It puts you in a position of really caring about the person, because you're also eliciting, like, if they're not ready to buy your program, it's going to be amazing feedback for you, for them to say, oh, I was unclear about this. I was unclear about that. So it's helpful for both sides. I really hope this session is helpful for you. Again, there's links below this video training. Stay tuned for the next video and what to do during open cart.